Hi, good evening everyone. In the first session, we have discussed and we have learned something about three key things about Indian economy. So, Indian economy can be simplified into monetary policy plus fiscal policy plus economic planning. Now, that is bonus session 1. Now, this is bonus session 2. So, in this session, we'll be dealing with monetary policy, the very first one. So, if this is monetary policy, then how we are supposed to expand the monetary policy? For example, the very first question we should ask ourselves is that what is exactly monetary policy? So, that is the basic thing. And after that, we are supposed to learn about types of monetary policy, and then we are supposed to learn something about what are the objectives of monetary policy. Now, what is monetary policy and what are the objectives of monetary policy appear like same. For example, whatever the answer is there for what is monetary policy, and it is the same answer for objectives of monetary policy. It appears like that, but these two are slightly different. We can elaborate something here that is not possible here. So, what is monetary policy means? What is exactly monetary policy? That's all. Objectives of monetary policy means controlling inflation, taking care of multiple indicators like poverty and unemployment and industrial growth and development, and taking care of foreign exchange reserves. So, it's a huge thing. It's a very small thing. So, what is monetary policy? It appears like that both are same, but both are different. And next, who takes care of monetary policy and why such responsibility is given to that body only? For example, who takes care of monetary policy means the central bank takes care of monetary policy, and why such responsibility is given to central bank. For example, in every economy we'll be having finance ministry, so instead of finance ministry, why only central bank is taking care of monetary policy? So that is the fourth one we have to do. So in fourth one, we'll be doing about who takes care of monetary policy and why that particular body is given such huge responsibility. So this is one, and this is two, and this is three, and this is four. And the next one, fifth one, is very important. Actually, that is the major thing. Actually, what are the pillars of monetary policy? So this is fifth one. What are the pillars of monetary policy? For example, the first one is, I name it as A, 5A, banking system. If banking system is good, then monetary policy is good. B, the functioning and powers and functions of the central bank. So how the central bank is working. C, not only the banking system and the powers and functions of the central bank and how the quality of the central bank or what is the strength of the banking system. Apart from A and B, C is there, that is policies of the government also play a major role. And if all these things are good and there is no financial discipline or financial literacy levels in people, then there will be no use. So if all these things are doing pretty well and there is no financial discipline and there are no financial literacy levels, then we cannot do anything related to inclusive growth or development or so in first we have the pillars. The very first pillar is banking system, and it should be based on the working of the central bank. And C, the policies of the government are also going to play a major role. And D, the financial discipline is also more important. And E, what is the constitution is saying, constitution of that particular country is saying about growth and development. For example, We have the directive principles of state policy, now which focuses on welfare state concept, and which is again based on inclusive growth and development. So all these things are interrelated with each other. So you need a good banking system, you need a very strong central bank, you need very good policies of the government, you need financial discipline in the people. At the same time, you need support of the constitution also. What does the constitution of the land is saying, what does the law of the land is saying? So these are the pillars which are the base of good monetary policy. For example, in India, the banking system foundations are very strong. Forget about the non-performing assets or the scams in cooperative banks or the scams in private banks or the maladministration in public sector banks. Forget about all those things. Irrespective of all those things, Indian banking system is very strong because we believe in basics. So these are the pillars A, B, C, D, E. 5A is banking system, 5B is the powers and functions, how good is the central bank, 5C, the policies of the government. If the policies of the government are towards alleviating the poverty or increasing the employment levels, increasing the infrastructure, everything, then so many things will be added. Then financial discipline. Then what does the constitution is? Constitution is against to the development or is putting any restrictions, or its objective is welfare state. So constitution of the land or law of the land also plays a major role. And apart from all these things, if you are doing everything and if your geography is not supporting, then we cannot do anything. If all these things, A is doing pretty much, B is doing very good, C is excellent, D is awesome, and D is very very good, it's very flexible. But if F geography is not supporting you, then you cannot do anything. In case of cost push inflation and demand pull inflation, geography plays a major role actually. So these many things are there when we discuss about monetary policy. So if we are doing all these things, look how much economy we can complete. And I have to tell you one more thing. If we are doing 5A banking system, we are supposed to do the banking system in ancient India, the banking system in medieval India, and whatever the banking system is there during the British period, and the banking system after independence. So this is again a huge concept. Banking system is itself a huge concept because we will be taking the banking system from ancient India itself. That's why I have placed these sessions in bonus sessions only. In bonus session 1, I have simplified the economy as monetary policy, fiscal policy, and economic planning. And look how much we can elaborate the monetary policy. What is monetary policy? What are the objectives of monetary policy? And how many types of monetary policy are there? And who takes care of monetary policy? And why such responsibility is given to that particular body only, that means central body? And what are the pillars of monetary policy? Pillars of monetary policy: 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, 5E, 5F. 5A, the banking system. Economies like India, the banking system plays a major role because major segment is middle class only. We cannot compare our economy with developed economies. Still, we are a developing economy. So the major segment is middle class. If the major segment is middle class, then whole economy depends on household savings. So that's a major role. So again, the banking system. So it is the first pillar. If you want a very strong banking system, you need a very strong central bank. If you need a very strong central bank, you need the policies which support the central bank. That means the policies made by the government should support the steps taken by the central bank. For example, providing more employment taking steps towards providing more employment and poverty alleviation measures, and not focusing on more subsidies. If more subsidies are there, burden will be there on the treasury only. Keep an eye on that one. And if 5A, 5B, 5C are doing well, if 5D is not doing well, then you cannot do anything. If there is no financial discipline and the people are focusing on more on unorganized money markets, less on organized money markets, then there will be no flow in organized way. So 5D is also a very crucial one. Financial discipline, financial inclusion, financial literacy. So many things are there in 5D. And if you take 5E, the law of the land should support the steps taken. So what is the objective of the law of the land? That is also very important. And if all these things are good and if the geography is not supporting, particularly with the countries like India, you can see all kinds of geographies, all kinds of climate changes, and one place there will be huge rain, huge amount of rains, and one place there will be no rain. So geography plays a major role. So the pillars of monetary policy are like these things, like this: 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, 5E, and 5F. So that's why I simplified Indian economy as monetary policy plus fiscal policy plus economic planning in India. In bonus session 3, I will explain you about fiscal policy, how we should see at fiscal policy. In bonus session 4, I'll take how we should see our economic planning. So if bonus session 1, 2, 3 and 4 are done, I'll directly go to economy series sessions, and in that economy series sessions I'll start with monetary policy because that is number 1 we gave. In my next bonus session I'll be taking how we are supposed to look at fiscal policy. Thank you.